Are you in search of a little investing inspiration and even a community of like-minded investors? Let's see what the Trading 212 Pi library has to offer. Hey guys, I'm Jasper, a financial market analyst working with Trading 212 to help improve your financial education. Please note that nothing in this video should be construed as financial advice. No man is an island. I'm sure you've heard this expression many times. No points for originality, I guess. It's part of a poem written in 1624 by the English poet and cleric John Donne. The meaning is pretty clear. We human beings are not supposed to be isolated from others, and we thrive when we're part of a community. So why should investing be any different? We all want to achieve our financial goals, so why not do it together? In my last video, I talked about how to build your own pie from scratch. I neglected to mention there is a whole library of pies that have already been created by the now vast and growing Trading 212 communities. So I plan to rectify that right now, because in this video, I will have a look at some of the pies that are out there now. I do need to apologize in advance that I will be doing my best Radio 1 DJ on a Friday night impression by giving the pie creators props and shout outs. All right, so in the Trading 212 app, there are two ways to do this. When you go to the portfolio section and choose pies, you will see the button to open pie library. Or secondly, go to the social section of the account, and at the top you can see feed, communities and pies. So of course, tap pie. Let's move on to the top category, which has the pies with the most pie copiers. Almost Daily Dividends is absolutely smashing it here with 51.8 thousand pie copiers. Getting a dividend every day is clearly a compelling idea and seems to be getting a lot of love from the community. You can see there are a lot more slices in this pie, so you'd need to take the time to go through them. Far be it for me to choose anything different from the dividend experiment who made this, but do you need to perfectly agree with them to take advantage of this pie? Well, actually no. If I tap copy pie, you can see the pie has the same sliders to select the weightings of each investment. The default here is to allocate 2% to each of the 50 stocks. If you don't like any of the stocks, just change that allocation to 0. And if there are some that you especially like, just increase the weighting. Right, big shout out to my next man Treba, who has created the cornerstone pie under the growth category. This is the first one we've looked at with some different weightings. You see Tesla is 30%, Meta is 21%, but then on the other end, there is SoFi at 2%. I'm going to assume this allocation was intentional, but just like any portfolio, sometimes these pies need rebalancing. Something to note here, when you copy a pie, the pie becomes entirely yours. These are your funds being put to work in the markets, your investments, and your responsibility. That said, your pie is linked to the original pie that you copied. If you look at your existing pie and go to the holdings screen, you can see underneath the pie that was copied from. If you tap that, you can view any updates and decide whether to adjust your pie to match. You can also tap options and choose to unlink pie, which removes any future option to update your pie in line with the original creator. But whether your pie is linked or unlinked, you can still edit it exactly as you please. You can tap the plus button to add more securities or change the weightings whenever you want. All right, let's see what other pies have been created. Okay, Treba has been busy. There are a series of pies here which appear to be designed to track Cathie Wood's ARK ETFs. Under EV and green energy, we've got the Ultra Green Energy pie created by Java Q. Big shout out to you, mate. This one is diversified across 32 different names. They're all linked to the same investing theme of green energy, of course. ETFs as a category is a bit different. These pies contain a selection of ETFs rather than individual shares. Props to the very logical name of ETFs by Geordie. You'll notice Geordie has just 3 slices in this pie, but since these are exchange traded funds, the pie is an investment into tens if not hundreds of underlying individual stocks. Under the diversified category, a big shout out to Briscoe, who has made the income ETF with currently 2,700 pie copiers and even more on his own YouTube channel. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that at the end, there is saved, which lists all the pies that you have shared publicly. Sharing your pie is entirely optional, and by default, your pies are private. If you go back to one of your pies, you can see the tab after Auto Invest is sharing. If you want to share your pie, switch Share Pie to On, where you can then create a username and bio for others to see when deciding whether to copy your pie. Before I wrap things up here, a few words to the wise, if I may. Pies are all about sharing ideas, asking questions, and investing as part of a community. As a pie copier, you need to make sure you do your own research into the pies you find. Don't just blindly copy them. A lot of the Pi creators are pleased to share their ideas and will often field questions, but just make sure the questions are well thought out and not something you could just easily get the answer from on Google. As tempting as it is to go through all the different Pis out there and make this like a 48-hour video, I'm going to stop and turn it over to you budding Pi copiers. Which Pis are you going to copy and why? Tell us in the comments. And if you like this video, please make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you see more videos like these as soon as they are released. Thank you very much for watching and happy investing.